everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you my, day 19 art journal page for the hashtag Art Journal Habit 2018 event that is going on all the month of December. Daily art journaling challenges, and the prompts are brought to you by Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group. You can still join that group. You can still join in with the challenge if you want to. So today's prompt is breeze, and the only thing I could think of just kept going through my head. There is an advertisement, and I don't know, I can't even tell you. Actually, I do know. It's CoverGirl. Easy breezy, beautiful CoverGirl. I didn't want to make a CoverGirl. I didn't want to make a face at all. I didn't want to do any of that stuff. So I decided to make kind of an abstract page, something fairly easy and quick and pretty and breezy, and yeah, that's what I was going for. So I had this scrap of tissue paper that was in my little box of scraps things that's underneath my desk, and it looks like it's been marbled. There's a process, like an ancient process, where they use water and then they put drops of pigment on there, and then they drag things through it, and then they dip paper in it, and it makes this beautiful marbled pattern. And they can make flowers and all kinds of stuff. But that's what this looks like to me. It looks marbled. And so I glued that tissue paper down to my page using Liquitex matte gel medium and my new collage brush from Tim Holtz Distress. So I decided to make some like as if air is flowing across, like a breeze is flowing across the page. So I'm making these swirly ribbony lines, like ribbons would flow in the breeze, like if you had some type of hanging ribbons and they were flowing in the breeze. That was like what I was thinking of, movement and breeziness moving across the page. And I drew them. I started out drawing them with a pencil, and I couldn't even see what I had. So I switched to drawing with my white Posca pen and drawing my ribbons, trying to figure out where they'd go under and over each other and twist over each other and all that type of stuff. And if you get it fast enough with a little bit of a moist cloth or a baby wipe, you can wipe it up, the crossover lines, pretty easily. So then I don't know what I was thinking with these dots. I was trying to add more movement, and then after I put them on, I thought, it looks like it's underwater. You probably don't get a breeze underwater. You probably get a current. That's not the prompt. But I didn't really care. I was having fun making the abstract concept of something breezy. So then I thought, well, sometimes in the fall the breeze blows the leaves, and so I decided to add a couple leaves so that you would know that it wasn't underwater because I had those bubbly things, which now confused everyone, including myself. I don't know what I was thinking. I just liked them. So then I decided to do some exclusion technique, which is to paint out the background, sometimes also called reverse painting. Paint out the background so that the foreground stands forward. And for this, I'm using white gesso. This is my Liquitex Basics gesso, and it's a little bit translucent, but I like that about it. I do have some heavy gesso that's thicker, but I just thought this was fine. And I'm using a small angle brush. Angled brushes are probably, when I'm doing acrylic painting, I would say that they are my favorite because you can get into very small areas with the point of it, and then you can also go over larger areas by turning it the way it would be if it was a flat brush. So it's a little bit more useful than a flat brush in my opinion. This is one of the acrylic handled ones that I have, which I really like because I am a brush abuser and I leave my brushes in water. And the ones with the painted wooden handles, the water gets into the wood, swells it up, and then the paint chips off and they look really bad, and they get beat up really quick. I need to stop leaving them in the water, but by the time I'm done with the project, I'm like, oh, I'm going to move on. I got to go edit my video. I got to do this. I got to do that. I forget that they're in the water and I don't go and wash them. It's a bad thing that I do, but I know I'm not the only one. I've heard other people say they do it too. So I know it's not just me. So if you get the ones with the acrylic handles, then they don't swell up and the paint doesn't chip off and they continue to look fairly decent for a long time. And these aren't expensive. They just have the fake, it's called golden Taklon bristles, which are useful for acrylic, as well as things like fluid India inks and things like that. So yeah, I recommend them. I'll try to find it on Amazon where I bought it and link it in the description box below in case you'd like to find some of them. So on the little dots, the tiny dots, I decided it was too much of a pain in the behind to try to paint around them. So I just went over them and I figured I'd fill them back in again with something else, which is what I did. So for the larger ones, I did paint around them and, you know, exclude the background. But for the smaller dots, I just got tired of trying to paint around them and went for it because I just wanted to do a quick, fun page today and not, you know, get into some major fussing at all. Just wanted to get it done quickly, make it pretty, easy breezy, beautiful, you know, like that. So then I took a ball stylus and some PBO green blue iridescent paint and I went and filled in all the smaller dots that I'd painted over. I could still see them because the gesso is translucent enough that I could see the dots underneath. And I went ahead and fixed that up so that my dots came back. They're not bubbles, people, they're dots. Because bubbles are underwater and this isn't underwater. Then I decided to do a little bit of shading because, you know, I do shading. And when you're doing it like this, with the exclusion, the shading goes on the inside instead of the outside. So I'm using blue-black PBO iridescent paint. So this has a lot of shimmer to it, which I know you can't see on the video, but you might be able to see it in the pictures at the end. Added a little bit of shadows around to make it a little bit more dynamic, and then I dried all that. Then I got out my Posca glitter pins. These are fun. I decided to use the green one, and I wrote Easy Breezy Beautiful along the flowing lines of my ribbony things. And then to make them stand out a little bit, I went around the outsides with the white pin, makes them show better. So I hope you're enjoying this. If you are, please remember to give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, you know, the stuff. And of course, you can always come over to Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group and ask to join. Remember to answer the questions if you do, because we read that stuff in order to keep the flow of the group about art and not about self-promotion. So that would be awesome if you came and joined. So there's the rest of my page. Oh no, wait, Then I decided that that thing up there there was a spot that needed something. And so I used the blue glitter pen to put a swirl, and then I highlighted it with the white. And then after that happened, I ended up putting a lot more of them on because then I found more spots that didn't have, you know, this is how it goes. So anyway, that's it for me. I will see you tomorrow for day 20. Bye-bye.